Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little Slaw YouTube channel. In one of our previous videos, we saw about how to do a bad job load testing using JMeter. So we tested a simple action where we copy a file from a source to a destination because most of the batch jobs does the same. They copy the file from a particular location to a common repo or from a common repo to a distributed location. So this is how the batch job works in most of the organizations. So when it comes to the batch job testing, so this is what we have to test, and in fact they work mostly like a copy paste transaction, or it works like copying a file or copying some data from one location to other location. So in this video we will see about how to do a batch job testing using Neoload, because for one of the video for one of this video that I did for doing a batch job load testing using JMeter, there was a comment. One of our subscribers asked that whether we can do the batch job testing using Neoload, and do we have any plugins or any other support things that we can get like what we did for JMeter. So I have come up with a JavaScript, because JavaScript is another advantage when it comes to Neoload, because you can do wonders, you can do magic using the JavaScript with using in the Neoload. So we will see how to do or how to replicate that particular activity that we did in the JMeter. So we will see how to do that in the Neoload now today. So before we move on to the video, this is me, your son Shanmugam. I welcome you all to Little Star YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed yet. Like, share the video with your friends, your peers, your colleagues, and don't forget to ask your questions, your comments, your feedbacks, because most of the videos have come up because of your questions. So you ask me like, how can this be solved, or how can this be done? So if you have any doubts or any concepts, or if you have any doubts or any other uh, practical questions, please do comment in the comment section. So now let's move on to the video. Let me close this and go to Neoload. And first let me create a user path. So I'm going to the user path and I'm clicking, right clicking on the create user path, and I'm creating a new user path. And this is going to be batch job testing. And I'm clicking OK. So now I'm not going to add any other transactions. I'm just going to directly do the batch job transaction in the JavaScript. And under the actions, I'm going to insert as a child. So I'm going to insert the action. So either we can drag and drop the JavaScript from here, or there is one more option. So either you can drag and drop like I told, or else you can just right click on it, go to insert as child, and then come to the JavaScript. So now we have got the JavaScript, and JavaScript will always come up with the default set of codes. But now we are going to try our own script. But before that, let me once again explain you what I'm going to do. So here is the batch job testing folder. So under this, I have a Python file in my source folder, and I have to copy this into my destination folder, and at the end I have to get the successful message, or if it has failed I have to get a failure message. So now we'll move on to the Neoload again. So I have added the JavaScript. So firstly I'll write a function which is copying the file. So here is the function. So now this function, this copy file function, is responsible for copying a file from the source path to the destination path. So here I have showed you the source folder to the destination folder. So it first create file object for both the source and the destination path. Then it creates input and output stream. So here you can see it creates input and output stream to read from the source file, which is from the source directory, and write it to the destination file. And then it creates a buffer to hold the data that is read from the source file, and iteratively reads data into the buffer from the source file and writes it to the destination file until the end of the file is reached. So that's more important, because It should not stop at somewhere in the middle. It should read the read it to the write it to the destination file until the end of the file is reached, right? So until this one, so we have got, so we are reading from the source file into the buffer and write it to the destination file until the end of the file is reached. So now we will move on to the next part, which is the closing the input and output streams. So here we have got the closing of, okay, I think, okay, yep. So closing input and output streams. So why is this important? So after copying it, after the copying is completed, we have to close the input and output streams. So if in case, if there are any exceptions that has occurred during the file copy process, it catches the exception. That's what is written here. So the catch E, which catches the exception, which logs an error message using the logger. So here you can see it. If there are any errors that occur during the file copy, it logs the error and return as false to indicate the failure of the file operation. So now we'll move on to the main function. So here let me bring the main function. So all these codes are already tested, so that's why I'm just giving you an idea of how does it work. So the main function now here defines the source file path, the destination directory path, and calls the copy file function with these paths. So here you can see we have got the source file path, we have got the destination file path. So we are defining the source and the destination directory path, and we are extracting the file name from the source file path, and we are creating a destination file path by appending the source file name to the destination directory path. And finally, we are going to call the copy file function to copy the files from the source to the destination. So if the copy or the file copy succeeds, we'll get a log success message, which is file copied successfully from the source to the destination location. And if it's a failure, already we have seen, we have got the error occurred, the exception thing. So it will tell us that the file copy has failed. And finally, we call the main function to start the file copy process. So now make sure you do the apply, because if some syntax error, if anything goes wrong, automatically when you do an apply, so for example, like if I'm not applying this colon here, okay, I think this part works. Let me just make some other uh, errors. So something like this, function main. So here you can see, anyways, this is something like it tells you missing colon before statement line 32. That means this particular part is having some issue. So let me just change it correctly. So function main, and I have to close the brackets, open and close. So okay, I think even this part again like works. So here if you see, if there are any like major errors, some syntax errors, if you miss anything like this, then it will definitely help you to fix those errors. So make sure you do this apply before you run the script, because most of the times we might forget to do this. And also if you make any changes, please do a reload so that the code, the JavaScript code, gets reloaded again and it works fine. So let me save this. So now we are good. So let me just show you the folder. So there is no files in the destination and we have one file in the source. Let me save this again. Let's do a run. Let's wait for a few seconds. It's just going to be one script. It's just going to be one single action. But in case if you do really want to test this as a load testing, you will have to emulate this for a long duration. Say for example, like 1 hour or 2 hour, or with multiple files, you have to do a copy paste of multiple files during this transaction. And also you can just try copy pasting to different locations. So these are some of the options I would prefer you, or I would recommend you just try to copy this from one location to multiple locations so that you understand how does the performance works. So here if you can see, the response time duration for this is just 0.03 seconds for this particular action. We have got the response. So it's saying that the file copied successfully from the source to the destination location. So let's go back here, and yeah, here you can see We have got the file. So let's do one more thing. So let me try this. So let me add another file to the location. So in case if we want to copy multiple paths, so in that particular scenario, I have made a change in the code. So we're going to just define the source directory path and the destination directory path, and then we are going to get the file. So we're going to get the first file, which is getnews.python, and we are going to add the source directory path and the source file name. So same for the destination path and the source file name. And then when it comes to the news headlines, I think that's the second file. So again, we're replicating the same object setting, and then we are going to copy the file from the source path to the destination path. And if success, we're going to get the messages files copied successfully. And if not, we're going to get copy failed message. Let's reload, and we will do a testing now. Before that, let's go to the destination. So here I don't have any of the files in it. Let's do a check and let's see how does the copying of multiple file works. So I would recommend you to test or to try these things so that you understand how does it work. So here you can see the destination file. We have got both the files which are copied from the location, and if you want we can just open and see the contents as well. So here you can see we have got these contents in the file, and they are confirmed that they are got all the lines from the files from the source to the destination. So with that we come to an end. If you have any queries or if you have any questions, please do comment in the comment section like you do anytime, every time. And please do let you know your feedback as well. If you really like my video, please do comment in the comment section. If you want me to improve something, please do comment in the comment section. So until then, I meet you in another completely different and interesting story. It's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.